Hello everyone, welcome to another tutorial. So this is a trending gown for a 2-year-old. So we are going to be going straight to the pattern drafting. So the length of this gown is 22 inches. Then the line at the upper part is my starting line, where I'm going to be imputing my shoulder measurement of 4.5 inches. So I'm marking it like that. So the neck width and the neck depth for the front is going to be 2 inches, while the neck depth for the back will be 1 inches. So I'll connect the line like so. The next thing is the shoulder slope of 0.5 inches, which I've marked. Then I'm going to be coming down by 4.5 inches for the armhole depth. Then I'll rule a line across like so. The next thing is to impute my chest circumference, which is going to be 6 inches, because I want the gown to be a little bit free. So whatever I have there, I will also put my shoulder measurements to give me a straight line to form the armhole curve. So next I am going to be marking the armhole using my curve ruler. So once I'm done marking, on that same chest line, I'm going to be adding my sewing allowance. So after adding the sewing allowance, the next thing, whatever I have down, I'll add extra 2 inches and mark it at the down part. Then I'll connect the line together. So that's basically all for the drafting of those bodies. Then I'll cut it. As you can see, I've cut it already. So the next thing is to determine how long the cone is going to be. Remember, the full length is 22 inches. So I want the length of the cone to be 10 inches. So I'm just marking where it will start from. So from this line at the middle to the end of the dress is 10 inches long. So I went ahead to cut it on my fabric. The fabric I'm working with is a Scuba fabric, as you can see. So that is the back part, and we also have a zipper allowance at the back. Then I went ahead to cut the front as well. So I went ahead to also cut the interfacing for this gown. It's shorter than the main fabric itself. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to check what we have there, which is exactly 10 inches, and we're going to work on the cone. So this is just a random piece of paper that I have. So you can use any piece of paper that you have. So it should be in a square shape. So you can see what I'm doing. I folded it into two. So just follow me like that. So from that edge, it's just like as if you're cutting a flare. So I'm going to be marking, instead of 10 inches, I'll mark 11 inches, because by the time we sew, it will still give us 10 inches. So I'll mark 11 inches all the way around as if you're doing a flare. So once I'm done, I'll cut it. So once I'm done cutting it, you open it and see if it's too big, you can adjust it. If you can use it like this, fine. So me, I'm going to cut it again because it's too big for me. So I'll just cut it that way. So after cutting, go ahead and keep it aside. So we're going to be working on the main fabric. So what I'm doing, I'm just marking the 10 inches for the cone on the main fabric. As you can see, look at where I place my taper. So I'm marking 10 inches. So I'm going to mark it and form a straight line at the midpoint, just the way you're saying. So I'll rule a line across. Please, this drawing should be on the wrong side of the fabric. So as you can see the line, what I'm going to do next is to get the midpoint of the line, which is 8 inches. So I will mark the 8 inches at the midpoint. So from that 8 inches, I am going to be marking 1 inches aside. So you can mark 1 inches, you can mark 1.5 inches, or you can mark 2 inches, depending on what you want. So I just went ahead to just mark till I go to the other side of the dress. So I'll repeat the same thing for the down part. I will get the length of the down part. Whatever I have there, I'll get the midpoint, which is what I'm marking. So I will also go ahead to mark 1 inches apart or 1.2 inches apart till I get to the end of the fabric. So once you are done, remember the midpoints of both the down and the upper part. That is where you will start connecting the line from. So just connect like so, just the way I am doing it. So in case the first line and the end of the fabric does not meet, don't worry, because it will just serve as the sewing allowance. So you also mark the other part. So once you're done marking, the next thing is to slash till you get to the end there. So I'll just stop at the line. So I'll slash till I finish opening everything. So this cone, we're going to be sewing with 1/2 inch on our fabric. So I just went ahead to just mark off 1/2 inch. So we're going to cut different colors or different pieces of that. So this is it. I've already cut it on my fabric. So if you can sew with 1/2 inch without rolling a line, you can do that. So if you can do freehand, it's also nice. So you will take one of the cone pattern and use your pin, use your pin and pin the edge. Yes, so you can see that part there, that is like 1/2 inches away from the tip of the cone. So that part, you pin it to the midpoint where the cone is starting from. That is where you're going to pin it. The reason for the pinning is so that you can be able to do it well as a beginner. As for me, I can sew it without pinning, and I know my 1/2 inch freehand without even marking. So just pin the way I am doing it. You pin the other side like so. You have to take your time in this part because this is actually the main work of this gown. So just continue pinning till you get to the end. So the next thing, I'm going to pin the other side as well. You can see how I am turning it. So you pin this way. So you pin. So just continue pinning till you get to the down part. So after pinning, I'm going to show you what it will look like when you actually take it to your sewing machine and sew. So this is what it will be looking like. So I'm just going to show you how I sew the cone on the main fabric. This is also kind of technical for beginners. Please, you have to be gentle and follow the process through. You don't need to rush it, because if you rush it, it will bulge out at the right side of the fabric. So trust me, you wouldn't want to start losing. So you have to just take it easy, just the way I am sewing it. So as you're sewing, once you get to that tip, remove your pin and make sure you arrange it properly. You can also turn the right side to ensure that it is seated properly before you actually stitch. So as you are stitching it, be checking to ensure that it is flat on the right side of the fabric. Then you can see how I'm checking mine. Can you see my own? I'm done sewing that, so I'm going to turn to the other side. So when you turn, also check if it is seated properly before you stitch. Please also check. You raise yours. For you to turn, please raise your foot up, then you turn your fabric before putting the foot down, then you sew. So you see me, I'm also checking again to ensure that it is sitting properly at the front side. so then you sew. So that's all. I am also going to do two more for the sake of this tutorial. So can you see how it's looking? I will do two more, then I will continue with the rest of the tutorial. Okay, so this is the final part. I am just checking to ensure that that place is not bulging. So that's all for the cone. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. So this is the full look. I went ahead to give that the starting point a good press. So this is the front. I also did the same thing for the back as well. So this is the back, one part of the back. So I'm going to bring the second part. So this is it. So at this point you can go ahead to fix your zip if you want to use zip, or you want to use hook at the upper part. So you can just stitch from the down to where your hook will stop. So I'll fix my zip. I'll also use my interfacing to turn the armhole. I'm going to be turning the armhole, the two armhole, both the back and the front. I won't turn the neck because the neck is going to be a turtleneck, so we're going to be cutting a piece to cover the rough edge. So you can see I'm done joining the sides. I turned the neck like I said earlier. I also gave it a good press. You can see the neck area, I left it rough like that. I didn't turn it because we're going to be using another fabric to turn the neck. So that is the back. You can see I fixed my zipper as well. So this is it. So we're going to be working on the neck area. What we're going to do is to get a tape roll. So this is just like a free way of a free hand of doing turtleneck. So I will get what I have around. You can also get the neck round of the baby that you are working with. So I had it 16, but I'm going to be cutting 19. So I'll cut my fabric in a bias form. My fabric is limited, that's why I'm cutting it this way. So if you have enough fabric, it is easier to work with it's when you have enough fabric. So I'm just managing my fabric at this point, as you can see. So I'll go ahead after cutting it. Please, the wideness of this strip is 4 inches. So on fold you will have 2. So I went ahead to mark the midpoint of both the strip and the neck area. So I'll stitch it at the wrong side of the fabric first, then turn it to the right side and cover up, just the way I am doing it. So this is it. I went ahead to stitch it and I turn it to the right side and top stitch on it. So this bow, which will be at the front, I have a tutorial on how this bow is being made. The tutorial with the pink and the black bow ties. So this is the final look. If you find this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, like, share and subscribe.